All right, welcome to the Iron Sharpening Iron Show. I'm your man, Big Jack. This is where we prove we are stronger together, that if each one would reach one, we can all grow and glow. And this is the last Wednesday of the month. And you know what that means? It means it's the battle of the sexes. And I have no better way to end a month than the wonderful panel that we have set up for you today. I'm gonna say we're not going to fight. There's not going to be any battling like that, but we're going to see what the differences are between how a man thinks and how a woman thinks on some of the topics that we have in store for you today. So we got a great panel. I'm going to bring them all up, and we're going to start bringing them in here, introduce. So before we're going to kick it off, I'm going to bring the men up on the stage, and all the men that's going to be here. So we got 3 men versus 3 women, and that was the plan. And but I don't know if the men's going. And I'm out, so you can see me. I'm dressed in my stripes. I'm in my zebra stripes today. I am the referee today. I am not in this. So please don't put anything on me. So we're going to bring them out. So let's bring that first male up on the stage. And you know this man, the co-host of the Iron Sharpening Iron Show, my man, Walt Talks. What's up, my brother? How you doing?
Man, I cannot believe you put on a referee shirt and put yourself on the bench. I can't believe it, man.
Yeah,
I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed for you, man. I'm disappointed. I think I speak for all the brothers in the world. I am disappointed, man. But it's nice to have a ref on our side.
So that's right. Yeah, look, the fix is in. The fix is in. The fix is in.
Let's see what happens. Well, we'll see. We're gonna put the pressure on you. We'll see.
There you go. We'll
see how loyal you are.
All right, no problem. Hey, we got another person that's going to be on your team today, and this guy is one of the best fish keepers in the world. Just one of the top guys out there. A veteran of the military forces, and out of New York. And we're gonna get him up here. He's feisty. And I think he's gonna be the one they need. He's gonna probably be the captain of your ship. But that's this man. Let's bring him up. Aqua Funk. What's up, my brother? How you doing, man?
My man, yes,
hey, sir. I'm liable to sink the ship. What are you talking about?
Hey, man.
It's all good.
Hey, man, we need a point, man. You the point.
I'll see what I can do.
It's all good. It's all good. Hey, it's good to have you here on the show. This is the Battle of the Sexes, and we got one more on your team. We're going to get him up here. And this guy is one of the hosts of Good Vibes with Guy and Shine. So that's it. He got the best name in YouTube. I think his name is awesome. I love it just because it speaks volume when you hear it. Just the fact is when you hear it, it's creating change. And that's what I love about that name. So let's bring that man up, Guy. Creating change from Good Vibe. What's up, Guy? How you doing,
fellas,
sir?
My fellas, man.
What's happening?
Not too much, man. I'm ready. Got my
ready?
Sweatbands on. So if I need to run, then I have, I could wipe my brow as I'm going.
Man. Oh man. So, hey, what's up? That's what's up. Good to have you up here, Guy.
Thanks, man.
So look on the other side now. We said it's the battle of the sexes, so we got to put some pressure on you guys. So this person right here, we're gonna bring up straight out of the heart of Texas, and the CEO and founder of Diamond on the Greens. Which is, designed for giving women a safe place in the golf courses and on the greens. And she feisty, 100%. I got to slow down right now because I got to make sure I say this name correctly before I bring her up on the stage. But let's welcome to the stage, Sharon Christian.
My man.
Let's get her up here. Hello, Sharon. How you doing?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, hey, Sharon.
100%. It's good to have you up here. And I see we got one more. We got supposed to have 2 more, but I'm not sure one's missing right now. So I don't know. And I know that they were calling for some type of bad weather in the California area. So hopefully everything is okay over there. So we'll see when she gets on the stage. But now, go ahead.
Jack, you might have to throw on a wig, man.
I got B in the back if I need to pull somebody out.
No, that beat, man. That beat.
Yeah, but our next, I would say contestant, if we want to use that one, is the voice of HR, but also she has her own company dealing with HR and helping people deal with poor customer service, how to handle your businesses, how to stand up for yourself when you're on the job. Definitely a huge content creator. You hear all over the world basically now, and I'm super excited to have her on our stage again. And that is the real Veronica. And welcome to the stage, the real Veronica. How you doing?
Hello.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me back. I'm excited to be here.
Hey, Veronica.
Right. Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah. So we got Cindy Lifestyle and More is the other one that's going to be up here, and I'm not sure. I mean, we'll check on her, make sure everything's okay with her, and once she gets here, we'll go. But I think honestly, Sharon and Veronica might be able to handle themselves for a little while if we get started. So
right, Veronica, we got it.
We got it. We good.
Whole lot of yakety yak from over there. Whole lot.
We got the bully and the HR specialist, man. We in trouble.
Whole lot of confidence over there.
Yeah.
So, like I said earlier, I am just a referee. How we're going to do this is we got the men and the women. I won't say versus, but it is versus. It is what it is. The battle of the sexes. I got a couple of questions I'm gonna throw at you, and we just want honest answers. You adults up here, we're not trying to bash each other, not trying to put anybody down in any kind of way, but at the same time, we want the truth. There's a difference between men and there's a difference between women, for sure, 100%. They say men are from Mars and women are from Venus, or vice versa, how they say it. But and we're gonna find out. So we'll find out today without a doubt. So with all that, everybody ready? Are you all ready? Okay.
Let's go.
I'm ready.
Let's go. Okay, let's go. All right. So this is one I was on. I'm sitting here. You're driving in a town. So let's imagine. I want y'all driving in a town and you lose your signal to your GPS. Okay. So you lose your signal to your GPS. You got a fork in the road. Okay. You got a map on the front seat of your car, and there's a gas station nearby. Mm-hmm. Do you stop and ask directions? Do you look at the map, or you just pick one of the roads and just take a chance? So that's it. So do you stop and ask directions? Do you look at your map, or do you just I'm just going to take one of those chances and I'm gonna figure it out later? So I'm gonna start with Sharon. Sharon, which way? Which? Yeah, you first. Ladies first, as they say.
Well, look, I'm gonna throw a little jab in there. We all know that men do not stop and ask for directions. They will lead us off the cliff. Now, hopefully the gas station is to the right. I always say go to the right. So I'm going to go to the right, and hopefully the gas station is over there and ask for directions.
Okay. All right. So she said so you're going to stop and ask directions at the gas station on the right?
Yes, I'm going to stop and ask directions.
All right. So Miss Veronica, which way would you go?
All right, so I got like a 20-part answer, but I'm gonna keep it fast. So it depends on what I'm on this road for. Do I have to get somewhere? Am I on my way to a wedding? Am I on my way to something where I have to be there at a certain time? I might stop and ask for directions. If I'm just traveling and enjoying the view, I might get lost on purpose and see where I end up, because I love exploring new places. So I might not. If I don't have anywhere to be because I like to be on time, then I'm just going to drive and I'm going to figure it out. I might look at the map. I might not. I might just figure it out. Just drive and see where I end up.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Okay. I respect that. I appreciate it. So if I have nowhere specific to go, I'm just driving. I go left, right. It don't matter if I end up in the ocean. It doesn't matter.
All I got to do if I get lost again is make a U-turn, come back and take the other road. So it's not that serious. I'll figure it out.
Okay. All right. I like that. Mr. Guy, what would you say up there?
I can kind of see where Veronica's coming from with depending on what is on my mind that I have to do, then, I may not really care too much about where I end up at that particular time. But if I'm usually that dude that I'm going to be kind of familiar in my head already before I go into an unfamiliar area. I'll kind of know what streets are running this way, what streets are running this way, and kind of have that in my head. But like if I'm going back home, like if I'm going back to where I grew up at, well, even though everything's changed compared to when I was there, I'm stubborn enough that I'm like, oh, I can figure it out. Like I'll be driving around through Bel Air or through, like You know, you just already know where everything is. Well, everything's changed in the past 20 years, but it's like, I find where I'm going, you know. But I usually don't get lost. I'll be honest, I don't get lost because I'll just look at the map. Like, I grew up in the era of, and I worked selling insurance. You had to kind of know how to read the map anyway. So it was like, it's just easier to know where I'm at a little bit, have familiarity in my head. I don't lean on GPS. I still don't lean on
I still won't. Okay. All right.
No, I don't want to say I don't use it, but I don't lean on it a whole lot. Like it's just if I need it, I'll pull it up. If I can look and see where I'm going, I'll just go.
Okay, I got you. Not a problem. I see Cindy Lifestyle and More is in the chat, and I put the link down in the chat, and I know she's having a little issues getting in. So if you click that link, and hopefully you can get in, but you've got time to get here. But the link is in the chat, Cindy. So if you're listening to me, you can hear me. Hopefully that link will help you get on the stage. All right, so Aqua Funk, where we at with this one?
All right. So if I'm far away, I'm gonna go ahead and bust out the map, right? But if I'm close by, I ain't got no shame in my game. I'll knock on a window. Hey, Papa, you roll your window down. Where's so-and-so? You know what I mean? Where we at? I don't have a problem with that. I really don't. You know, I'll go up to a stranger and be like, yo, where's 4th Street? Where's da-da-da-da-da? If we close, if I know we close. But if we far away, I don't mind busting out a map. You know what I mean? But if I know I'm close by, I'd rather just ask somebody.
I got you. Okay. All right. Well, talk. So you asking? You just driving?
So let's get one point. Let's get one thing straight. Am I on my motorcycle or am I in a car?
All right.
Because I'm like with Veronica. It's like if I don't have anywhere to be, hey man, it's about the journey. The destination is secondary to the journey. That's the first thing. Secondly, when I'm looking at the GPS, I already know where my next turn is. Highway such and such in 10 miles, 20 miles, whatever the case is. So that'll put me there. If I'm pressed for time and I got Sharon Christian with me in the car, you know, and she's over there sweating bullets, I might stop and ask for the map. I'm gonna use the map and ask the guy at the gas station, get her a bottle of water to put on her neck and a cold rag so she can relax. If I'm with Veronica, we might not show up at the event. So that's where I am with it. But if I'm on my motorcycle, we definitely gonna take the road that looks the coolest at the fork. So that's what it is.
You're just gonna cruise on by.
If we're heading west, as long as we're still heading west, we're good. And then we'll figure it out from there. Yeah.
All right. So really, I'm looking and listening, and I know that Miss Cindy we're working on getting her the link. It almost like it's even. Y'all either going to, just depends on where you had to go and if you had to be there. Okay, I'm down with that. So now check this one out. Your cell phone has died. Okay,
oh boy.
It died. Your cell phone died, and you finally find a payphone. Wow, a payphone. Yeah.
No.
You found a payphone. What's the one number that you know by heart that you want to call?
911.
That's what I was gonna say. 911. Because I don't. Yeah.
411 and 911. Those are the only ones that I remember.
So wait a minute. So men and
555-1212 would get me with the weather time. Which one was that?
867-5309. I don't know.
So wait a minute. So I was wondering now with the smartphones today. Now let's just go in with smartphones today. Do you remember any phone numbers? And I'm gonna go up there with the men. We'll talk. Do you remember any phone numbers?
I got my wife. But she's not on my list of people to call if I'm lost or go to jail or the hospital because she don't answer her phone. I got my daughter. She probably will as long as she's not at work. And after that, man, I'm just going to Central Cell Block, I guess, man. That's what it is. Yeah.
I got you, Aquafunk.
I do remember one number, and that's my ex-mother-in-law's number. And she's passed away. And the only reason why I'm dyslexic, right? So I have to find funny little ways to remember numbers. And back then, I had to make a jingle. And there's only 2 numbers in her whole phone number, 2 and a 7. So I made a little jingle, and I still remember that jingle.
That's all right.
Let's hear it. We got to hear it.
Give you her phone
number. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it is, it's like da 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 da. You know what I mean? It was just like a little. It kind of flowed, so it's like almost like a rhyme, but it's only 2 numbers, and it's just a combination. And I remember that to this day. I remember that, and that's from 95, 94, 93. You know what I mean?
I got you. Okay, I'm down with that. All right. So, hey, Guy, what you got over there?
I'm kind of where Walt is as far as it depends on what the fuck, like exactly why I need to call. But I do know my wife's phone number. Just right off my head, and I do know my mother and father's phone number because but yeah, I would probably call my mom and dad's because then that would be like my liaison. Like depending on who I needed to get to from there, they would help me out.
Yes.
Maybe,
Okay.
Man.
But I would probably holler at my mom and be like, have her help me start sorting out what the problem is if I'm having to call home for some reason,
But you do have a number stored in your head. It's not all in the phone.
Yeah.
All right, that'll
definitely.
work. That'll work. Miss Veronica, what you got?
I'm good with numbers, so I know about 5-6 people's number. I don't call anybody ever, so these numbers are just like muscle memory numbers. I got my mom. She'll probably be with me if I'm lost. We'll be lost together, and she likes to get lost too. So I do know my brother's number. My aunt, she never answers. She will not be the one to be the one to rescue me in an emergency. But I mean, I would have to say probably my brother. I know his number. The problem with the payphone is that you really can't call long distance, and everybody in my circle has a different area code. And I don't know if I'm gonna have enough quarters to dial a long distance number on this payphone. So we might have a whole other problem that we got to deal with.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got you.
Payphone.
A payphone. Yeah.
Payphone. Yeah.
Them jokers is nasty.
Yeah.
Ugh. I remember looking at the on the ear part of it. Oh
Yeah.
So you wouldn't use it because,
man, I just remember back in the day just holding it way out here, just like hey, because the ear part was all waxy. It was just gross.
And the mouth part.
Yeah, but it was just nasty.
Oh my God.
Hey, look, you say what you want to say, but I'm old enough to remember carrying the beeper, and I'm sure one or two.
Oh, yeah.
I had the beeper too, but I mean, now you're bringing up memories of phone booths that smell like urine.
Hey man, a beeper in the pocket full of change. You kind of knew where the phone booths were.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, you kind of knew what the hot spots were.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long you can stay on them before the guys need to get to them, if you know what
Yeah.
I mean.
We're gonna hold on, pause 1 second because we got Miss Cindy Lifestyle and More. She is here. So we're gonna bring her up on.
All right.
Hello,
Late as
Cindy.
ever.
How you doing?
Hello.
I didn't know what I was doing.
How you doing?
All good.
I'm doing good, thank you.
Welcome to the stage. So, Sharon, I'm gonna throw this at you. So, what phone numbers do you remember? If your cell phone was down and you had to remember a number to call, who you calling?
Well, I learned early on to not call my daughter because she never answers her phone. My mom, calling her, she thinks everything is 911. So I wouldn't need for her to heighten the situation. But the person that I would call is my son. He always answers the phone, regardless of who's calling. So that's the one number that I have is his number.
There you go.
So you have that memorized, so you can call your son. Okay, all right.
My son.
All right. So Cindy, I don't know if you was listening in the background, but the question was if your cell phone went down and you had to call someone, do you remember any phone numbers to call? So who would you call?
Definitely my daughter.
Okay.
I know her number by heart.
Right.
Definitely my daughter.
Okay.
She'll find me some way, somehow. She'll find me.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right. So, and welcome. I'm glad to have you here with us, Cindy. So, we got one more for you. Well, not one more. I got plenty more for you, but that's one more. Who handles? Okay, here we go. Do men and women value love and respect differently? Okay, which do you need more to feel fulfilled in a relationship? So, which one do you need more to feel fulfilled in a relationship? Respect or love? Which one? Respect
Definitely
or
respect.
love?
Definitely respect.
So you're saying you need respect more, no love. Okay. All right. I'm going down the list. Miss Veronica, I see it. It's like either, and if it's neither one, throw out what it is that you need. So Indigo and Twin out there.
It's really hard. That's a really hard question. I'm gonna, if I have to, maybe by like a tiny bit, I'm gonna say respect, because I feel like a lot of people say they love people and then they do things that don't reflect that love. But when you genuinely respect somebody, you move differently. So I'm gonna say just by a little bit, like by 9 points versus 10 points, I'm gonna say respect. But the love needs to be right there too. But
I got you.
I'm gonna say respect.
Respect. All right. And Sharon?
I'm with Veronica. I think, you have to respect the person for you to love them first, So if you have that respect for them, then then the love is going to come natural. You're not going to do anything to jeopardize the relationship or the partnership that you have with that individual, as long as you respect them. And then the love will follow.
Okay. All right. I can go with that. What about you, Walt Talks?
Definitely respect, because love cannot exist where disrespect exists. Let's start with that. And I think what we really ought to say, the B part of that question is, because I meet disrespect with distance, and I don't care who you are. That's what I meet disrespect with distance, because other than that is violence, so I have to go to distance. And I ain't into violence, especially in a relationship. But what you ought to define is what men and women see respect as being different things. And I think that's the real question right there.
Okay.
So definitely respect.
Yeah.
Because you cannot respect a person, you can't love a person that you do not respect. But I also think at the end of the day, men and women see respect as something totally different. As disrespect is something totally different.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna come back to that one, Walt.
Okay.
Definitely.
I'm gonna let you answer which one you think it is, love or respect.
So I mean, I think we all gonna be on the same page with this. I can't see the way. All right, so everybody shows respect differently. My old lady shows me respect as her man, as her children's father. That is love to me. That's you showing me your love by showing me the respect as your man, as your daughter's father, as your protector, as your provider. To me, that is love. You know what I mean? Or at least showing me that the love is still there and strong. So I think the respect is a proof of love. You know what I mean? For me, that's the proof of love.
Okay.
You know.
Right. No, I can respect that. Creating change. What you got over there, sir?
Well, I'm picking up what everybody's putting down, but I have to say this. Now, from a relationship standpoint with my wife, it requires that level of respect, and it requires a certain that level of love, whatever it is that you measure is the proper, whatever that is. But I can say that as far as as a human being goes, there's certain people in my life. I have friends that I don't necessarily respect the kind of lifestyle that they're living, but I do love them I love them as a person, and I pray for them and everything. But as for my life partner, my wife, then I think it requires both, and I think it's pretty darn equal, however you measure it. I don't know, but.
All right. No, I appreciate that. So Walt Talks, I'm coming back to you because you saying you had to define better or how we look at respect, man.
Right.
Wow. Okay. Right. So as a man, what do you consider respect?
So as a man, I mean, we got 2 hours.
Here we go. Yeah. Here we go.
No, I'm just saying, as a man, and I'm speaking generalities here, right? You see it. You see how if 2 men are having a conversation, we understand that at any moment balance can come in here. So we govern ourselves accordingly when we're speaking to each other, right? When we speak to each other, we speak with respect. We don't speak in disrespectful tones. We don't scream and holler. We don't do certain things like that. I'm talking generalities here. Sometimes I've experienced it years ago, but not in my adult life. I've seen women sometimes say things to a man that they won't even say to a woman, because they know if a woman would deal with them differently, but a man is not going to deal with them physically because he's a man, she's a woman, and that's sexist, but that's what it is. But so when people start disrespecting people, especially when I see a woman disrespect a man in public, I think that's terrible, man. I think that's a horrible thing, and you see it a lot. You see it a lot, and then it's always the woman. Not always. Then a lot of times you see a woman who has nobody in her life telling the friend who just disrespected a man how she should disrespect the man, which is even more crazy to me. Which is even more crazy. Girl, if I was you, I'd do this, I'd do that, I'd do the other, which is more crazy to me. So again, respect begets respect. And I'm not talking about compliance. I'm talking about just humanities. I'm talking about you would not, I've seen people go to work and speak to their bosses and take stuff from their jobs and then bring that mess to a relationship and talk totally different. But you just sat there for 8 hours and shut your mouth and didn't say nothing back. Didn't even speak in this. Here you go, Aqua Funk, in the staff meeting.
Every time.
Didn't even say anything. You know, somebody cut you off in traffic. Somebody did it. Somebody did. But you come home to a guy who needs space, who shares space with you, and you may take it out on that person, which is crazy to me. Or you may take it. We always heard the one we love. That's the oldest saying in the book, right? So I just think respect goes a long way. I just think as men, we kind of know that this thing could go left real quick, and we always kind of consider that. Sometimes I see that the things that women disrespect men for, they'll sit there and explain to their girlfriends for an hour. But to the point that they say they love, and I'm just having general conversations here. It's like, I don't have time to explain myself. If he don't know, then he should know, yada, yada, yada. But they'll sit there and explain, yeah, girl, this is what happened. Is girlfriend would check them. Girlfriend to check them, and they'll take it. But if a guy says, I think you just off track on this one, you can't tell me what to do. You ain't my father, blah, 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 blah. And I mean, I'm saying these are personal, not my personal love life, but my personal experiences with male and female friends, which I think is crazy. That's my opinion.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna let the any one of the ladies not answer or rebut or speak on what Walt just had to say.
Let me put my helmet on.
Get him.
All right, go.
No, anyone can answer or come back with that one.
I think women give their emotions. Women fall into the emotion trap. Men are more, they come out, they want to show, their muscles, they want to show they're the man, they want to show who they are. And women right away, the heart goes out. They fall in that little, and it's been known for years. And when they get hurt, and I'm talking as any, including myself, I tried, and I haven't dated for a long time. My husband just passed away. So I'm talking about back in my day. Okay. So they were always told that women always gave their emotions before anything else. Women give their heart, men do not give their heart until after a while. That's how I feel, because they want to meet us. They want to know who we are, or B, they try to impress us. That's another thing I've noticed in my past life, back in the days. I don't know how it is anymore. It may have changed since then. But you hear a lot of girls, when I work with my coworkers, are like, I'm done. I'm not dating anymore. I'm tired of meeting new men, online dating. I've heard the more negative than positive. Okay. I'm still from the days when you met them in person. You met them. They talk to you. They buy you a drink. They say how nice you look. You see them in their face, not on a photo. And I think what happens is that when they go meet them, either A, they don't show up, or they're not what you want them to be. They're looking at you and you're like, well, what about you? I've heard that story too. They block them before they even get home. The girls have told me that, a lot. I've heard about online dating. So this is even when my husband was still together before he passed away. I heard a lot of stories, including my sister have told me these things. And we were talking about it 2 weeks ago. So she said the same thing. We give our hearts, but meet them in person, get to know them, get to know their personality. And you're not going to know them in one night. There is no way. Right. Because you grow together. You learn each other's your good points, your bad points, your love, your strength, who likes to dance, who don't like to dance, what kind of music, and on and on and on. And that's why people stay married for so many years, because that's the friendship came together, and then the love, and then your children. And you miss that because you shared so much together. But now, when you got to start all over again, I'm definitely not going to throw my heart out there. I want to meet the person rather than looking in a photo.
Gotcha. Okay. So Sharon or Veronica, either one? No answer? No,
I think all I'll say without debating too much, because this is definitely a topic that could take hours, is that the way I looked at respect was not necessarily the way we speak to each other, but the actions behind how you treat me. Don't ever make me look stupid out in public. If we have a disagreement, we are a united front in public, and we could talk about it at home. Never be the person to show others that we are not united. That breeds disrespect from other people. If other people see that you're not respecting me as your partner, then that's going to open it up for other people. If you talk about me negatively around your friends, they're going to think it's okay to talk about me negatively. And that's not presenting a united front. So that I was thinking more of respect as far as your actions. And well, as you mentioned with, we respect our bosses, but we don't respect our spouses. There was a video recently that I saw where the kid had walked into the kitchen. The mom was like overstimulated and she yelled at him. And the comments were crazy. Like, he needs to understand mom is overstimulated. And I'm like, stop it right there. I bet you that when she's overstimulated at work, she doesn't yell at her boss when he walks into her desk and asks her to do something else, add something onto her plate. Restraint at work. Why can't we show the same restraint with our partners, with our children, with our families that we have to show at work, that we have to show in public, that we have to, well, some of us, some people go crazy in public. But the majority of us who know how to, behave in public, that same restraint that we show, that respect that we show to our coworkers, to our bosses, to people out in public, we need to be able to show that restraint to our partners and to our children and to the people who are close to us. Because one thing I do know is that we tend to be harder on the people that are close to us, and we show that respect to people that are not. And I think that's something that we as a society need to work on. But for me, respect was more about how you're treating me, how you're behaving and how you're, I guess, holding up my name when I'm not around. That's the respect that's important to me. Is who am I to you when I'm not around you?
Okay.
Wow. Good one.
Thank you.
Good one. So,
I think back on what Veronica said, don't make me look stupid out in public. In public, we're supposed to be a united front. And we can talk about whatever disagreements we have behind the closed doors, but let's not let anyone see that we're divided. As far as giving your spouse or your significant other the respect, I think a lot of times the reason why they or we give more respect to the job or to the boss is probably out of fear of losing your job. You're not gonna, crash out on your boss, because if you crash out on your boss, you may not have a job tomorrow. Okay, with your spouse, you can crash out on them. Okay, you just sleep in a separate room for 24 hours and everything is great. It's not like a financial impact if you crash out, on your significant other versus your boss. So
that's terroristic behavior. You do know that, right?
It really
is. There is going to be a financial impact when I leave. Like, there is going to be a financial impact, because you're not going to disrespect me for long before I leave. So
that's my point.
The financial impact is going to be there one way or another.
That's the point I was making. So you can, it's like when you tell people, oh, you just play crazy. You're not really crazy, because if you were crazy, you'd be that way all the time. So you can control your temper. You can bite your tongue. You can use your words. So in my opinion, and again, happy wife, happy life is terroristic behavior. And I don't negotiate with terrorists. So, I'm not going to do that. I mean, and then here's another thing, ladies and men, and I'm sure you men know that. If a man gives you the respect, the attention, the nurturing, the support, the protection that you need, you understand? And he allows himself to he opens himself up to you, and you, not you three, but any woman if you weaponize that,
Bro,
he will never, ever, ever forgive you for that. You understand that? And that's the
yeah,
difference. And that's the difference, because it's like, Cindy, you kind of touched on it when you said, you know, you want to make sure you know a person first. But when you know a person, like, I need you to be strong, not too strong. You're not my father. I need you to be supportive. I need you to support the household, but I need you here. So, I mean, I got to work, so I can't be at home. If you think you're lonely now, wait until the night. Bobby Womack said, right? So, I mean, it's like it's a dichotomy, and I think every time I have this conversation with a woman that's a friend of mine, I'll say, do me a favor. Put those same standards on your son's relationship and tell me if you still feel the same way. And then, ironically, they don't feel like their sons ought to be dealing with that, which is crazy to me. So wait a minute. You want to put somebody through this, but if it was your son, you would tell your son he shouldn't put up with that. So which one is it? It's either right or it's wrong.
yeah.
Okay.
That's nuts. I do think that's the ultimate form of disrespect, when a man opens up to his old lady and she weaponizes that. That's like the worst that you can do for me. Like the worst. When I you know what I mean, when I let myself be vulnerable, because you're supposed to be my lady and you're supposed to be the one that I can do that, and then you go ahead and use that against me, whether it be intentional or unintentionally, that's unforgivable in my opinion.
That's true.
That goes both ways. I
I mean, it goes
100%.
both ways.
100%. 100%. But we know that about we expect that. This is the difference. We expect that. I expect those consequences if I do that to you. I'm expecting that. But Sharon, what you said, and I know you didn't say it intentionally. I mean, I knew you said what you said, but you don't mean it this way. But the way it comes out is, well, you know, you just go sleep in another room. You'll be fine in the morning. Well, I'm telling you that it's not always going to be fine in the morning. I'm telling you, he might still be there, but don't make it fine. So I get it, because again, why you wouldn't talk to somebody that way if you knew they could mete out consequences to you. You just doing what you can do to get away with it, and that's a form of bullying. I'm not saying you a bully, but I'm saying that's a form of bullying, because you already said with your job, you know, you got some real consequences. But with sport coat, nah, he'll get over it. He'll figure it out, which is crazy. Because if he had that thought pattern, he knows. I know if I come out tomorrow to my wife, it's a problem, and I'm expecting to deal with the consequences. I'm not expecting to be like, oh, I'm sorry. No, it's consequences to come with that.
All right, so wait, we'll call it T.O. Time out.
Okay.
All right, ladies, I know y'all got some opinions you want to share, so go ahead. I'm gonna let you go, because I did hear it works both ways. I'm gonna allow y'all to speak on that behalf of it.
It really does. Now, if I open up my heart and tell you something that's very dear to me, and then you use that to hit below the belt in an argument, that goes back to me losing all respect for you. I'm never going to open up to you again. And I'm going to look at you differently. I'm not going to look at you as being a protector for me.
Right.
Unfortunately, I'm going to start looking at you as an op. Because if I ever tell you anything that's personal or dear to my heart again, I will be fearful that you will use that against
me. There you go.
And I could never, and that has happened to me. Oh, and wow. I never recovered from that. I'm always looking at them sideways, like this person, I can't trust them with something very, dear to me ever again, out of fear that they're going to use it against me. It's a wrap for me at that point.
And there you go. Wow. And most men know that, and that's all I was different. We know what comes with that. I'm expecting that, but we're men, so he's just gonna have to get over it. He's just gonna have to deal with it, and that's the difference. Is what I was trying to make my point. Go ahead, Jack, before you throw another flag on me.
Veronica, I see Veronica. Going on, Veronica. I see you down there. Go ahead.
No, so. Okay, what I know as a woman, as somebody who's friends with a lot of women, with things that I've seen online, is when we tell you how someone has treated us in the past, and then that's how you end up treating us. Like that right there is like stomping my face harder and harder every time. And what I'm not going to do is sit here and let it happen more than once. I'm flighty. I don't care. I got my life together. You are in my life because I want you there and because I appreciate you, because you are adding to my life. The second that you do something that I'm like, hold up, like she said, you're an op. You're not for me. You are against me, because I literally told you this person disrespected me. This person cheated on me. This person hit me. This person A, B, or C. And you did the same thing after I told you how it made me feel, after I told you how long it took me to get over it, after I told you how long it took me to heal. So now I'm going to be way more careful with who I tell my things to. And now I'm going to be more vigilant of how you're treating me after I've told you what this person did to me in the past. So I'm not going to sit there and look at you as an op. I'm not going to sit there and look. I'm just going to leave. I'm going to go about my merry way. The best thing that I'm going to do for myself is walk away, because I can't trust you. I can't believe that you're going to do the right thing. I can't believe that you're going to protect me, because the minute you got mad, or the minute you got a little bit emotional, the minute I said something maybe that you didn't like, you took away that protection, because part of protecting me is not just physically protecting me. It's emotionally and mentally protecting me. And the second that I did something, or maybe I said something inadvertently that you didn't like, you withdrew that protection. And now I can't trust you, because anytime something happens that you're not happy with, anytime I do something or say something, that you have the ability to remove that protection. So now I just got to protect myself, and I don't need you. So that's where I'm coming from, that it goes both ways, that I fully understand that, yes, women weaponize the things that men tell them. And that's why men are so hard about like opening up and being vulnerable. But men also have to take some accountability as far as when somebody does that, don't stay, leave. The same way y'all tell us to leave and pick better men, leave and pick a better woman. Like, just leave. You don't have to go through it 20, 30 times in order to be like, damn, this one woman damaged me for 10 years. It doesn't need to be like that. You decided to stay for 10 years. Leave. Somebody treats you like crap, leave. You wouldn't stay at a job that's treating you like crap for 10, 15 years. I mean, sometimes, depending on how much they're paying you, you might do that. But that's still, you still have to take accountability for that part of how you let somebody treat you. If somebody's a shitty person, excuse my language, they're going to do shitty things if you allow them to do it. So the longer you stay with somebody, man or woman, the longer you stay with somebody that's a crappy person, they're going to realize that you don't value yourself. They're going to keep treating you like crap. So the only way that you're going to be able to get away from that behavior is to walk away from it.
You let them get away with it one time, the next time it's going to be worse. And the next time it's going to be worse. So once you cut it off at the knees at the first time and not give them a second chance, just walk away. The first time someone disrespect me, I'm done. I'm not going to give you a second time. That's just like giving you a second chance to shoot me. I'm not going to do that. I'm out.
So I agree with you 100%. So let me ask you ladies this. And the gentleman, but our perspective is different. I can't hold you responsible, accountable for something that I haven't told you. What's that noise?
I don't know.
That's over here on this side.
Okay. I can't hold you accountable. I can't hold you responsible and accountable for something I haven't told you about. I haven't made you aware of, right? So if I make you aware of something, do you think men and women have the same level of accountability?
Can you give an example?
Yeah.
Okay. If I say something to you that you may see as disrespectful, right? You may not even disrespectful, but you might seem as harsh. But it's the truth. You may not like my delivery, but it's the truth. And I haven't said it mean-spirited, but you just don't like it cut. It hurt because it's the truth, and the truth hurts sometimes, right? So if I tell you, well, I wasn't trying to hurt you, I'm trying to tell you this, that, or the other, and this is the example that I give you. And matter of fact, this has maybe been the second or third time that I've told you something, and I'll say, hey, look, I'm not here. If it hurts you and it's true, that's different than me being mean to you about something that's totally off base. Does that make sense? If I address your behavior, if I call you on your behavior, or if you call me on my behavior and it hurts me, that's different from being mean-spirited. So I just think, as far as accountability goes, the moment you say, yeah, but you did, that's the problem. That's the difference. That's the Mars and Venus part with men and women. Because, I mean, you ladies are internet sensations. There's thousands of memes out there about pronounce this word, honey. And she pronounces some crazy word. Pronounce this word. She's laughing. Pronounce this word, honey, and this is some other word. And then they'll show the word sorry, and it'll be like she can't pronounce it. That's just a different, and it's a joke, but there's truth in comedy. I just think men want to get to the other side of this thing. I'm talking generalities here. Look, this is what I said. This is true. I'm not being mean spirited. You might not like it, but if your girlfriend tells you the same thing, it's like it's okay. But sometimes if it's coming from the opposite sex, it's a problem, and vice versa, and vice versa. And the thing is, I'm always a person like we all have our perceptions of things, but I'm always trying to look at other people's perspective because I want to know what made this person think they could come to me. Talk to me, Veronica.
She raised her hand on this. Go ahead, Veronica.
I can only speak for myself. Absolutely. I don't treat my friends and my love interests differently. I have the same standards. I have the same requirements. I require respect. I require love. I require we push each other to be our best self. So if I wouldn't accept it from my best friend, I'm not accepting it from a guy and vice versa. So the thing about the way you're saying, I'm a very honest person. I'm very, very, very conscious of my delivery of how I say things because I never intend to hurt somebody. I hate hurting people's feelings. That it kills me because when you hurt somebody's feelings, they carry that for a long time that can shape somebody's entire life. So I'm never in it to hurt somebody's feelings, but I am very direct and very honest. Now, my thing is, if somebody takes what I say the wrong way, I have to acknowledge that their feelings were hurt, even if I didn't mean it that way. Even if I'm like, listen, I get it. I'm sorry that I said it this way. What I said is still true in my eyes, but I acknowledge that it made you feel a certain way. I think that's where a lot of people go wrong is that they won't acknowledge that just because they didn't intend to say it maliciously, that the other person didn't take it that way. You cannot control how somebody accepts what you tell them. That's why I used to work in law enforcement. Intent is everything. I can't control the outcome. I can only control what my intention was. So I understand your intention wasn't to hurt me, but it did. I understand your intention wasn't to kill me, but you did. You know what I mean? Like, I know that was a little extreme, but that's kind of where it comes from. Like, what was your intent? And then sometimes our intention doesn't go the way we plan it. So we have to acknowledge what actually happened, how the person actually felt. So it's okay to be honest. It's okay to be direct. It's okay to speak the truth, but you also have to be receptive to it. And you have to be receptive to the fact that maybe somebody's not going to accept what you say the way you say it without having some sort of rebuttal. But point of it all, I don't accept anything from a guy that I won't accept from my friends and vice versa. So at least for me, that's only for me. My girlfriends don't get a better version of me than my man. My girlfriends don't get, a sillier, funner. I am the same person no matter who I'm around. Everybody gets the standard Veronica. The only time somebody gets a different Veronica is based on how you treat me. Now, if you're disrespectful to me, we're going to have a problem. Friend or boyfriend or whatever.
Gotcha.
But your videos are a prime example of how to deal with this issue. That's why your videos are so great, because everyone has been that employee, and everyone has had that boss that you address in your videos, and that's classic. I mean, that's like textbook the way you handle yourself in your videos, and that's why I've got a tremendous amount of respect. So if that's the real Veronica, that's the real Veronica, I can understand. You kind of like a unicorn. You do know that. Because the average person, even in your videos, has thrown the phone across the room and walked out the door and just lost their job. You do know that, right? Okay.
All right. So not to change gears, but we're going to change gears. And and that was definitely a good dialogue. And I see some good comments down in the chat, and they all over the place. So, I mean, we shook some trees out there. A lot of leaves fell off for sure. So here's the thing. What's something you wish people noticed about you without you having to say it? So what is something you wish people noticed about you without you having to say it? And guys, see you quiet up there in the corner. And I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm going to put you on the spot. So.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I mean, I guess... Man, that's a tough one, Big Jack. Good Lord. Oh, yeah, that's a tough. I guess it would be, because I come across a little bit quirky and a little bit funny, and I laugh things off a lot of times. But I sincerely hope people know that I'm a very thoughtful person. I try to think about what I'm going to say, and I try to think about the actions that I take on things. So I hope that people see that in me with the way that I treat them and the way that I do things. You know, I don't know if I'm answering your question. I don't know. Did I get the question wrong?
Nah, I think you can't get it wrong.
I wish you'd give me a true or false or something. I could have nailed one of them. I could have nailed one.
I got you. All right. True or false? I got you. All right. All right. So Aquafunk, I'm gonna let you go. So what is something that you wish people noticed about you without you having to say it?
Oh man, this is I'm kind of all right. So I don't know. You was in my live stream the other night, right?
Yeah.
I'm normally happy-go-lucky, rah rah rah, clown clown clown, da 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 da. So people feel very comfortable to just tell me stuff. I don't want to hear a lot of people's problems. I wish people just knew that. But for some reason, they feel very comfortable with me, and they come at me with their stuff. And I'm nice, and I don't really want to know. I got my own stuff. You know what I mean? I got my own stuff. Don't come with me with all your problems because I'm laughing and goofing on YouTube. You know, that don't mean I don't got stuff going on myself. You know what I mean? So I wish people would know that I got my own stuff going on too. It ain't all, you know, just the little clowning stuff I do on YouTube. That's just that's my getaway from the real world. But my real world is still here. So back off of me a little bit, you know?
No, I received that, man. That's deep right there. Walt Talks.
Question was, what do I wish people knew about me?
Would notice about you without you having to say it.
When I ask you a question, when we're having a conversation, I'm listening to you. I'm listening to what you say, and I'm trying to make sense of what you say. So when I ask you a question, it's for a point of clarity. It's not necessarily I'm not the enemy. I'm just like, okay, so explain it to me. Because again, I always, this is how I was trained. I need to put myself in your shoes. I need to hear your perspective. I know how we perceive people, but I need to hear, like, how did you come to that? How did you come to that? And because it's like, you're having a conversation with somebody sometimes, and things like you get a response that you totally unexpected, and I'm like, how did we get to that? But sometimes, man, you just needs to make sense. I mean, like, because people generally tell you things and they leave out a material fact because they're trying to point you in the direction they want you to go. And I'm like, okay, so how do we get from A to Z or A to D? You just left out B and C. So how did that go? And that's the one thing I wish, that's probably, and I mean, hey man, that's always. But the difference is my relationships, my friendships, they've been battle tested because I've been through that. I mean, like, you ain't my friend till you cuss me out, roll your eyes, or grit your teeth at me, because I'm going to ask the truth. I'm going to ask you. We're going to have a hard conversation because we're going to know exactly where we stand. I'm not going to be giving you opinion on the fluff. If you ask, you're going to know where I stand when it's hard. And I'm going to tell you, some of the people that I disagree with, I got tremendous respect for.
Yeah.
So
I have to interject for just a second because I just feel like I need to say it. Like, as a man, I can only approach it from a standpoint as a married man. I've been married 17 years, and as respect goes with just it being a general word, then my wife and I, as I've grew as a man, her respect for me has grown with that. So I think that it's also got to be allowed within your relationship for that to build and for it to become, and it doesn't matter if you're married already or if you're just getting started in a friendship. I think approaching things the way that we're doing it this evening with honor and dignity towards one another and being able to talk about things, that's the first thing. Being able to do it in a civil manner, and then with your wife or your spouse, the one thing I try to make very clear to anyone that I talk to about marriage, especially people that I feel like maybe are asking me a question that truly want to know. And the one thing that I will never do to my wife, and she will never do to me, is weaponize the one thing that we share together that you don't share with anyone else.
Right.
And that is our physical presence with one another. I don't hug no one else like I hug my wife. I don't lay down with no one else. You know, and that doesn't mean that everything's always hunky-dory, but I don't never expect to weaponize that, because that's the only difference in that way that makes that part, that relationship, that different part, is that you have that physical presence with one another. You know, having a hand to hold, guys. I mean, you know, for those of us that you know, maybe you know, didn't have a hand to hold for a long time, there's something really nice about it. And you know, as a married man, the only hand that I really hold it was my boy back when he was younger, and my wife. So, you know, I just look at it from that way. I think respect is one of those things that in a relationship we have to let it grow as well, because, you know, I've earned some respect that I didn't deserve maybe as a, you know, a younger man, and my wife now gives me that respect because I've earned it, and I've grew, and vice versa. She's grew as a human being and as a woman, and she gets, you know, I mean, she gets props as a mom that I couldn't have given it to her before she was a mom, but now I can say, man, she's been a hell of a mom, and I give her that respect because she earned it and she deserves it, you know. So anyway, I just just wanted to throw that
definitely legit. No, real legit. Cindy, I see you down there. If you, do you want to, what's that one or something that you wish people noticed about you without you having to say it?
I want people to know me as a person that really took good care of herself. I was always honest with people. I never lie. I may hear things, and I don't tell other. I'm not a gossiper. I don't believe in gossip. I don't believe my marriage was a business transaction. I believe my marriage was love. I believe that people need to respect each other, love each other, and not treat it like it's a big business. When you talk with your coworkers, you have to care about them. When you talk to your friends, you need to care about them. It's not about you respect me and I'm going to let you know that if you're not going to respect me, I'm not talking. You know, I'm not into that. If you have a situation, you explain it. Say, you know, I don't think we're seeing eye to eye right now. It doesn't have to be telling somebody. Don't tell somebody. Let them know. Don't tell your husband what you don't like. Don't tell your daughter, I don't like you doing this. Why you don't, I don't like people talking to me like that. Don't talk at me. Talk to me. And I see that a lot, that people do that. They say one thing and they're telling somebody how they feel. You're talking at them. You're not their boss. You're a friend. You're a wife. You're a mother. You're a brother. You're a sister. You're a husband. Talk to each other, not at each other. And I think that's in any friendship relationship, marriage relationship, boyfriend relationship, girlfriend relationship, co-worker relationship, including your boss. It's stop talking at people and talk with people. And that's how I want people to think of me. That Cindy always came in and talked to all of us. And when I was talking about meeting people, women give their hearts, they do. Because one minute they're saying how they treat their boyfriends or their husbands, things don't work out and they're bawling their eyes out. Well, I thought you were tough. I thought, you know, don't do this to me, don't do that. But now you're brokenhearted. Sometimes we have to sit back and think about what we're doing wrong. What did I say wrong? Because it's not always the gentleman and it's not always the wife. It's sometimes we start saying things to each other, and believe me, it happens. Life is life. Marriage is marriage. Boyfriend and girlfriend. There's no right and wrong. And pastors and preachers and psychiatrists, there's two sides of the story. So I see that a lot in people, and I notice that people treating love and and partners as a business. Well, it's not a business until you get a divorce, and then that's when the business comes in, and it's not so much fun. You know, is it? And my sister, we were talking about it yesterday. You know, so it's respecting, and including right here, it's respecting everybody. You know, so telling somebody but not talking with them is a big difference. So I want people to think of me like that.
Yeah. I got you. Okay, I appreciate that. Veronica, anything on this one?
Yeah, I think because of my demeanor, especially because of my audience, you know, and they see that one side of me, you know, the sassy, outspoken Veronica. I don't think a lot of people know that I'm an empath, that I'm very, very deeply emotional, and I feel the pain of others. Like, living in the world today is so hard for me. Like, I don't even know how to explain that. Just seeing all the things happening, kids being hurt, you know, men and women hurting. And I wish I could just hug everybody, even though physical touch is not my love language. But I'm also an introvert. I love being home. I love being in my house with my dogs, with my family, and I never have to go out. I just never do. I love to cook. I love being home. I enjoy my solitude. I can live in like a 20-acre farm by myself and have maybe like one human interaction a month, and I am perfectly fine with that. You know, I go to dinner with my friends and stuff, and I travel a lot. But even when I travel, I'm okay spending some time in the hotel. I'm okay not starting the day first thing in the morning. And I'm very carefree. So I go with the day, however it comes. But I don't think people realize that I'm an introvert. And that is something that I'm like, yeah, stop inviting me to all these crazy places, because I'm not going to go. I'm going to say yes. And then the day of, I'm going to start coughing so that my voice could get hoarse. And I could be like, listen, I might be getting sick. And I don't want to get everybody sick. So I'm just not going to go.
She's telling her secrets. She's telling her secrets now. Okay. So Sharon, what's that something you wish people noticed about you without you having to say it?
Well, there's a couple things. Like Veronica, I'm an introvert. I'd rather be home by myself. You know, I don't like to be out in the limelight, but in the industry that I'm in, I have to be. That's not a choice of mine. Also, that I'm very approachable with boundaries. Most people look at me and think that I'm not approachable, or, you know, I'm kind of antisocial, but I'm about business. But, you know, once they get to know me, that, oh, wow, you real down to earth. Yeah, I am. But I have boundaries that, you know, I have to put in place. So.
Okay. All right. So, wow. I mean, that's it's good to be able to, you know, share the all the different, you know, areas that you talked about. I came from so many different so many different directions. I mean, so and that was about you, because it was what you wish people noticed without you having to say it. And I appreciate you actually putting it out there for us. So I'm gonna throw one more thing at y'all, and we'll see where we at, because we're already into the 1 hour mark. So we knock this out. So what's the weirdest thing that you find attractive in a person? So now this is a man versus women. The weirdest thing that you find attractive in a person, you know. So and we're gonna start at the bottom. So Sharon, you just finished, so you're gonna start this one off. So what's the weirdest thing that you find attractive in a person?
In a man or a person?
The females, what's the man, and the men, what's the women? So what's the weirdest thing you find attractive in a male? I'm talking to the ladies now. So the weirdest thing
I don't think it's weird, but what, you know, most people will probably think that a woman like to see a man with no shirt on and boxers and No, I like a well-dressed man in a 3-piece suit. That turns me on. As far as a girl, you know, if she have her hair and her makeup and, you know, hey, she got it together, not saying that, you know, I'm in that lifestyle, but that attracts me. I'm like, hey, I like her style. I mean, if she's put together from head to toe, I'm going to give her that compliment, you know. I don't think that's weird, though.
Okay. It's your answer. I can't say it's weird. If it's the question was, but maybe you changed it, so I'm good.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So
look, I got a little bit. Oh no. Hey,
You got your juice going now, so you're good. Veronica, is there anything that you and I'm going to have to use weird, but what do you find attractive in a person, in a male? What is that?
Okay, if we're speaking physically, I'm gonna say, and I know there's a lot of guys who are very insecure about it, but I love a very defined nose. Like think Justin Baldoni or like Michelle Maroney. I like those, especially like Middle Eastern men have those like points. That to me is the sexiest thing on earth. I don't know why. Don't ask me. I don't have an answer for you. But a very well-defined nose is something that drives me over the edge. But I love a guy with glasses too.
Oh wow! Okay.
Easy, Veronica.
I'm looking at you, Walt.
Oh man! Hey! Easy.
Veronica, don't blow his head up, please. Take the glasses off, Walt. Just take them.
Take the glasses off.
I had to go tell my wife we might go together. No, thank you. I understand what you're saying. It's funny what you like. Yes.
Yeah. So Cindy, I see you down there. What we got, Miss Cindy?
I just like somebody who takes care of himself, grooms himself, have some nice clothes in his closet, sit back and relax, likes to go watch baseball, go see some sports, go to the amusement park. I worked in sales for half of my life, so when she mentioned the 3-piece suit, that's all I went to was sales meetings every month. I sold hair care products for almost 40 years. But now, now that I'm early retirement, you know what I mean? And now it's just enjoy life. You know what I mean? It's just someone who takes good care of himself. That's what I like in people anyways. So, but right now I'm not even looking, but yeah, I'm just going out, meeting people and taking day by day right now and having fun, because he just passed away June 6th, my husband. So I'm just right now, I'm just noticing a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? But right now I'm just being friends with everybody and kind of hearing things that everybody says here, you know what I'm saying? That all the things. And like I said, it's been 33 years for me. So where I was at back in the 80s and 90s has changed now from 2025, so right now I'm just taking it in.
I got you.
Game has changed for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. So Walt, coming at you. What's that thing that you find?
So, can you repeat the question, please?
What's the weird thing you find attractive in a woman?
Okay, so I've been married 29 years in August. So I've been out of the game for a while, right? But I'm not even gonna say it's weird, but I've made compliments to women when they feel they are at their worst. When I think, man, this woman really has it together. And she might just be Saturday morning going to get a cup of coffee or going to the Walmart or something. But to me, as a man, when I say natural beauty, your natural attributes, whatever you're at, I'm not like, I don't like this, that, or the particular things about a woman. I'm not like a leg man, a breast man, or whatever. I just like people who radiate beauty. You know what I mean? Radiate peace. Their energy is good. So when I see that in a person, I'll say, hey, you got great energy, something like that. And then they may look at, oh my God, my hair's a mess. But no, but you really radiate good energy. It's like, so and it's not weird, I guess, but coming from as a compliment to a woman, I guess they might see, man, what's wrong with this guy? He needs his eyes checked. But I'm like, that's one of the things that catches my eye in a person, for sure, in a woman, 100%. I mean, even if I'm with my wife, I say that lady that's got good energy, Yeah. So that's what it is. Yeah.
All right, good energy. I got you. Mm-hmm. Aqua Funk, what you got, sir?
All right. Okay. So I do have something strange that I do find attractive in women. And I only think it's strange because people think I'm strange for it. Like they think I'm strange. So I notice it. Look, I got this thing about eating and making mouth noises. And so when I notice someone who can eat properly and not make a whole bunch of mouth noises and smacking gum and stuff like that, I find it very pleasant. And I do notice it. I do notice it. I have an issue with people making mouth noises when they eat and stuff like that. So I do notice when because it's just a thing with me. So I mean, it is weird because I get mad a lot. I got to leave the room a lot of times. I got to get up and walk away from the table. I can't do it. Okay. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I understand that. Mine is real quick. I'm just throwing it in there.
Whoa, you're a referee.
No, I am. That popping gum, and I don't care if it's male, female, whatever. They're popping gum. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Get me through the roof, man, right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So, hey, Guy, what you got, man? What you got for me over
here? Well, I guess as a physical attraction, the one thing that I've always just found that for myself with my wife, one of my, I just like the way that this part of her looks. I like that part of her chest. Not necessarily, I'm not talking about her boobs or nothing like that. It's just that little area right here, like right there. It's just, I just like that. I just like the way her neck comes in right there, and I just like that. Oh,
the collarbone.
That's my little spot. Yeah, like right in there in that little area right through there.
Oh yeah.
I just think that's a beautiful area. Like I don't know, but anyway, and then but clean. I love just that smell of a clean woman. That smell it's not so much about the soap. It's not so much about the perfume. It's just the smell of a woman. I just think that's attractive.
Mm-hmm.
It's just awesome. That's it. That's all I got. That's as deep as that.
Snipping hair.
Yeah.
You snip hair?
Yeah.
If I smell your hair,
wait a minute, Sharon got a comment. Where was it, Sharon?
I said if I'm with a guy and I smell his hair and it smells old, like grease.
Old hair?
Yeah.
Oh, like, okay. I get the grease. I just didn't know what old hair smelled like.
I don't need it, but
Wow.
Thank God I never had that problem.
You mean like not washed? Like they haven't washed their hair for a day or two?
Oh, okay, yeah.
You want clean hair.
Yeah, clean hair. Okay.
Yes.
I couldn't find the word. Look, I'm still.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah.
So can he have like a big afro? Can he have a big afro and be clean, or he's got to have? I'm just asking for a friend.
I mean, he can have a big afro, but
it has to be clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's right.
No lint balls and all that in it.
Yeah. Like you've been running
back. Gotcha.
All right, so here's the last one we're gonna throw at y'all, and I appreciate y'all all for being up on the stage with me tonight. And who, man or woman, and all y'all can answer.
Sorry, my dogs.
Your dog, okay. All right. They're having fun over there. Wait.
Yes.
We'll get in on the action.
Someone's probably at the door.
Who has money but always act broke? Which one acts broke more, men or women? Do men act broke more than women, or do women act broke more than men? Meaning, I have something, I ain't gonna let you know I have it.
Yeah.
Which one is better? Which one is better at putting it off, men or women? And let me see. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna go up top. I'm gonna go with you, Guy. Which one is better, men or women?
I mean, from where I lean at, I'm gonna have to say that men. I think especially for myself, I feel like I'm frugal. Like I'm that guy that's like, I don't need that. You know what I mean? But my wife is kind of a splurger a little bit. So I guess I would have to lean on from where I'm standing. It would be I'm a little bit more frugal than what she is.
Okay. All right. Aquafunk.
Yeah, I reached that age where I start thinking about old prices. I'm at $5. $5? Oh hell no, $5. You crazy? Like I hit that age. So even if I got money in my pocket, $5. Forget that.
Yeah. I can buy two at the grocery store.
Yeah. Yeah, go to Walmart.
As Veronica say, the price is the price. Pay the price. That's it. Walt Talks, what you got, sir?
So in my marriage is, man, I'm not a splurger, but my wife is probably, she probably doesn't have the first dollar she earned, because she probably bought a wallet with that, but she definitely got the second dollar. But in just in general, man, you play golf with me, man. I pull up to the golf course in my minivan or my Tahoe, and my buddies in there, all of their fancy cars, like, man, why don't you get a real man's car? And I'm like, man, it's not for everybody, man. I just never been a car person. I like nice things, don't get me wrong, but I also like art. I like to buy things for my home. The car, I've had so many cars crash, broken into, stolen. Cars, if I keep them serviced, but I've never been a car person, never been a jewelry person. Always like to kind of fly below the radar, and kind of like, I noticed that, I guess, The Millionaire Next Door is probably one of my favorite books, because I mean, I don't need to splurge. I don't need to show everything I have, but I do like nice things. So, I just like to just kind of go in. I probably never, my pull-up game is terrible. If I was in the game right now, pulling up to the club or pulling up to your house in the minivan, we probably have problems. I probably get serious inquiries only, because, you know what I mean? So that's just what it is. I mean, because the thing is, if the car, if the clothes, if the jewelry make you, then once you don't have those things, you're no longer that person. So I just think if we all walk in dressed the same, I'm going to be okay. And even if I was single, if I see a woman I like, I might not catch in the VIP because I ain't up there popping bottles, but I'll see her at the coat check if I like her.
All right. Look at it.
Yeah, that just reminded me of something. This just reminded me of something.
All right. So wait a minute. I'm gonna go with Miss Cindy down there. So
I'll be honest. My husband and I, we used to do our checkbook every week. So we did our checkbook every week. My sister and I, we just had a stream on it, but checkbooks. So we knew, like, if he spent something that I didn't know about, well, of course I found out. And if I happened to spend something, so we were always equal. We always made sure that, we had enough for our plans of our vacations or whatever was happening around the house. But we did our checkbooks every week. So we could never really come back and say, because we would know, if it was a lot of money.
Right.
So we only had one debit card, and we didn't have two debit cards. So I would have a checkbook, and I let him have the debit card, and then we would balance them out every week. Because when we had two debit cards, one bank account, he'd be out there, then I'd be out there, and then it would be like, oh no, here comes the overdraft, or they'll get a text on my cell phone. So we decided to work together, and we sat down and did our checkbook. So we always knew what we each other spent. And he went with me to the store everywhere. He was there all the time. So he knew everything I bought. And I'm the one that bought his clothes for him, all that stuff. So basically he's like, do you like it? I go, I think I like it. So I'm the one that did all that. So I usually, because I had my, Macy's discount, so I would get all his stuff for him. So we did everything together. So there was no
male or female. I got you. Okay.
No.
All right. Veronica?
This is a hard one. I don't like the word broke, so I don't associate with broke. And I'm not bougie. Like I'm not rich. I'm not bougie, but like I said earlier, I'm very carefree. Sorry, I got my mic here and I know I'm probably touching it. I'm very carefree and I work hard for my money. So as long as my bills are paid, I got some money in my savings account, got my investments. If I want something, I'm going to get it. I'm not going to act broke, and I'm not going to be with somebody who acts broke. If they got money, and I don't need you to spend your money on me, but I'm a very generous person. I need you to match that generous energy. So I don't know. This is a tough one for me. I feel like in the dating world now, I feel like men might have money and act broke when they go on dates and they want to split it 50-50, and talk about 50-50 on bills and all that stuff. So I just don't, are you really broke? And that's why you're telling me I got to pay for my half? I've never had to. I won't associate with somebody who asks me out on a date and makes me pay 50-50. I've never had to do that. Thank God. But this one's a hard one for me. I have no idea, because broke is not a word that I associate with at all in my vocabulary. I just can't do it.
All right, so I'm I know some of the words in the questions might not be, like say, the ideal word, but I think you answered the question pretty good, so I appreciate 100%. That. Yeah. So Sharon, this is the question to you. So, which one is better, men or women?
I can't speak for a man. I can only speak for myself. You know, I work hard and I play harder. I like nice things. I don't associate broke in my vocabulary. Is it Barbara? Right? Is that your name?
No, Cindy.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me.
No.
Just like Cindy, I do a budget every week. I balance my checkbook every week. As long as my bills are paid, if I have money left over, then yeah, I'm going to buy my diamonds. I'm going to buy my watches. I'm going to do that. As long as I know that I pay my bills already and I got money in the bank. So I don't understand playing broke. If I don't got it, I don't got it.
Right. All right. No, look, I appreciate it. I appreciate you all. I know this is a little different having you on the stage. It's something that we put together where we say the last Wednesday of the month, we'll get the panel together and discuss different topics, and from the men's point of view and the women's point of view. And I know it at one time got a little, I don't say hairy, but it was good. It was good conversation because of the fact that it drew a lot of comments out and a lot of movement in the right direction. We're always trying to learn from the other side. You know, a lot of times as a man, I can't speak as a woman, but as a man, nothing is intentional. There's no way intentionally am I trying to hurt you, or you know. So it's like if I fumble, if I make a mistake, it wasn't intentionally. It was just a mistake. And I think that's one of the things we have to learn in a relationship, and it could be a friendship between two men, two women, male, female, or whatever. That I'm still human. Even if I'm dating you, I'm still a human, and I'm still going to make mistakes. I've never walked around acting like I'm perfect, you know. And if you put me in a place that I'm not, then you know you're setting yourself up for failure sometimes. But with that being said, it's just the fact that it's important to know the differences between the men and the women. And we could drag this thing on for hours and hours and hours and all, and we're never going to come to the conclusion that I figured it out. So if any one of y'all can write a book saying you figured it out, it'd be a bestseller, 100%. But it ain't. So I already know. There's no fiction. Way. All fiction. Yeah, all fiction. Yeah. So,
did they have a book, Jack, called Venus versus Mars or something like
that? Yeah.
Men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
Read that book? Oh,
yeah, because and the thing is, we're all trying to find the answer, you know, and it's not sad, because you do want to figure the person out. You find somebody you like, you're really attracted to that person, you want to spend your life with that person or whatever. You want to figure out, what did I just do to mess this thing up? What did I just do to blow it? You know, I'm not a believer that it takes a long time, but that's a man thing. I mean, I could have asked that question. How long does it take you to make up your mind on a person? You know, it's for me, it don't take forever. I don't have to be with a person 5 years to figure out. I knew almost 5 minutes. Like, you know, you opened your mouth, I'm like, I can say, yeah, I can still deal with you, or I have nothing to do with you. And it's just really that fast for me. But at the same time, you know, some people are different. We all are different. So with that, I appreciate you all. And I'm going to turn this moment over to anyone who has anything they would like to share before we close the show out. So I'm going to go down the list. Ms. Sharon, you got anything you want to share with the audience and anyone out there?
No, I enjoy this. So hopefully I get to be invited back. I mean, this is very good dialogue between men and women. So, you know, there are some people that really need to hear both sides of it. So, I mean, it was very informative.
I appreciate that. Miss Veronica?
I think that there's still plenty of true love out there. It may not look the way that we grew up expecting it to look. It may not, you know, be what we want it to be, but I think that there is plenty of real love out there. If God exists for me, then there has to be love. So I think for the people who are dating in today's world, don't give up hope. Just know your value, be a good person. You'll attract that eventually. And don't let people keep breaking you. Like I said earlier, you have to take the accountability of the part that you played in breaking your own heart, but put in the work to heal yourself. There are other people out there who are putting the work in to heal themselves, and eventually it's going to come together. Just don't give up. I think that we're at a place in life where we're giving up. I know I'm one of them. I'm 36. I'm unmarried right now, unfortunately, and I don't have children. And it's getting to the point where I'm like, well, maybe I'm just going to be single and travel the world by myself. But I haven't given up. I haven't given up hope that someday I'm going to meet the me in a male version. And I think that that's, as long as you have hope, you got something to look forward to.
I like that. I like that. Miss Cindy.
Well, you're still young. I didn't get married till I was 35, and my husband was 38. So you don't, and my daughter's 30. So I didn't get married till I was late because I wanted my career to be first, and then I got married. So you're good. You're all good. I really had a good time. Like I said, it's been a long time for me. So this is very interesting, how people interact with each other, and men and women. It's there has been some changes in life, and I'm sure that book that I mentioned, I'm sure it'll be book part 2, because things have changed since then, from my days of the 80s. But I think everybody really talked about how they felt, and the words respect, and I really enjoyed myself, and you all did really well, and I appreciate being here. It was really nice. Like I said, it was fun, and I enjoyed myself.
Thank you, Cindy. Mr. Guy up in the corner.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, it was great to get to be on with all of you, every one of you, and I appreciate you having me on, Big Jack. I think this is a great opportunity to recognize that this is teaching how you speak with people. This is how you have respect for each other, and you give that back and forth, and you say what's on your heart, you say what's on your mind, and then you move on. And as for, I think, Miss Veronica, you said, like people that's out there looking and looking for love. I think the most important thing is become happy with yourself first. And then that love that you're looking for will be ready to find you, and you'll be ready to find it. So with that being said, guys, Brother Walt, Aqua Funk, Miss Sharon, Miss Veronica, Miss Cindy, and Big Jack, I appreciate y'all having me on. This has been cool.
Thank you, Guy. Yeah. Aqua Funk, anything you want to drop?
Oh man, like everybody's saying such nice things. I don't know. Like I do this. Give up hope. It don't get no better. Settle. Just it's just everything goes downhill. Just it don't get no better.
Kick him off real quick, please?
Give up hope.
Hit the mute button. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Life gets worse. The longer you live, the worse it gets.
Oh man.
I'm so slow. Look. Yeah, look. Look, for anybody to think that Aqua Funk crazy, we already know he is a little bit. But at the same time, we said it before, even while we was here. Every day is not going to be roses and flowers and all. So don't think it is. So
most of it's not.
Life. It is life. So 100%. So Walt Talks. Anything you want to drop?
With Sharon, Veronica, Cindy, and Guy, and specifically to Guy and Cindy's points, talking to each other. And I say that because we are offended more by our perception of what people mean, the value that we put on people's statements. Like people say something and we put our own stuff to that, and then we figure, oh, they must have meant this, instead of having the conversation about what the person really meant. But to your point, Big Jack, I don't understand. I must have missed it, man. I'm pretty good at picking up the social cues. I must have missed it when you said we had some heated debates. And I don't even know what the heated debate was tonight. I must have missed it, man, because I'm thinking, man, we had a great conversation. I didn't feel like I was going to get stabbed when I got off stage or anything, man. So, I mean, and let's be clear about this. I mean everything I said. Let's start with that. I would love to elaborate on it in a private conversation if I need to, but I certainly wasn't trying to step on no toes, but I mean, that's just what it is. And the reality is I'd rather know exactly where I stand with anybody, friend or foe. I need to know. And I'm good at staying out your way and respect begets respect. And that's just what it is with me, man. I mean, I just in that way, I'm kind of crazy like that. I just, because I really don't have an in between, and I really don't do small talk well. So whatever we're talking about, we're gonna talk about. And if we're not talking about something, then I'll leave it alone. That's what it is.
That's it.
But I appreciate everyone. This was a great panel, man. I mean, it's like too bad we all in different states. We could get together and have a drink, have a cocktail. You know,
that's it.
I really enjoyed this panel. This is pretty cool, man. This is pretty cool.
Yeah. No, this really was. This is definitely. And now, this is something we're trying different, something new that I haven't done yet, and we're going to do it this time. So behind the scenes, we had a member of the Iron Sharpening Iron team. Miss B was back there working hard, back there dropping links and keeping everything in hold. So we're gonna bring B up on the stage so she can close us out on there. So here comes Miss B.
You killed the numbers, Jack. You killed the numbers.
Hey there.
Hey.
Oh, what a great show, guys. All right, so you see me dropping love, dropping links. Now I get to be up here for a minute. Big Jack said I could pop in and shout out the heart of the show, which to me, of course, my job, the chat, the community. We got some early fire setters going on here. Y'all come in like you had backstage passes, okay? Lighting up the room from the first second. Huge love to Niecy Jackson, to Kamaria Jackson, and to Audra Meyer, who I believe is a newbie. Also, we have our quiet little workers. And the ones maybe you didn't say much, but you liked, you clicked, you keep us strong anyway. We see you, okay? Edward Johnson, Phil Daw, y'all are awesome. I also have some late night legends that have stuck with us through the whole thing. And if you're still here right now, you're built different. You're real ones, though. Okay, so give it up for Aquafunk's friend, Bear Bottom Brandon. You're my new friend. You my new friend.
He's a terrible person. He's terrible.
Picking on him, you are my new friend. Poetic Tears, Meritage Shade of Light, and Jacqueline Davis brought it in with us, holding us to the final breath. Look, I know some people think chat is just kind of background noise or, it's not really here, though. Not with this crew. This chat, it builds something. We're a family now, all of us. Every single person on this panel now. Big Jack, thank you always for seeing people and letting me be one of those.
Yeah. All right.
There you go.
With that, I appreciate you all. It's almost like the little Brady Bunch coming up. I did say one more square. Yeah.
John Boy.
It's all good. Yeah, but how John Boy? That's the walk. But look,
okay, but I'm not going to be Alice, okay?
No, you're not.
Marsha.
Oh yeah. Let me be Marsha.
Oh man.
With all that being said, I thank you all for being here. Thank you all for hanging with me on the Battle of the Sexes, the Iron Sharpening Iron Show, and keeping this dream alive. I mean, this is what I really, really love to do, and having you up here just makes my day go by. I mean, I look forward to this. I really look forward to this, and having each and every one of you take time out of your schedule to hang out with me. I truly, truly appreciate it. And you all are Hall of Famers, all former guests. So you don't have to ask me if you can come on the stage. You're more than welcome. Anytime you got anything, and if you ever need me for anything, please reach out, and I'll be there for you. So with that being said, and everyone in the chat, I hope we recognize you all. We thank you for hanging out with us, and hopefully you have a good rest of this week and going into the weekend and all of that. And stay safe and blessed and all of that good thing. And we'll see you. What is this? Today is Wednesday, so we'll see you Sunday on the Iron Sharpening Iron Show, starting a new month with new guests and new ideas and everything. And until then, we thank you. Stay blessed and peace, and we'll talk to you later. Everybody, say bye-bye.
Deuces.
Bye. Take care. God bless.